The day we're talking about, I think that was back in January 1957, so that's been a long time ago and a long time to remember.
On weekends, me and my neighbors would, and my brother, would go in the woods and we'd hunt and fish. And one day we had the idea of building us a camp house. So we dug out a big hole in the ground and we cut logs and we even notched them together like the pioneers did. And we were playing over there one Sunday afternoon. My mother had taken my older sister to Louisville to get some senior portraits made. And when nobody there at the house but my daddy and my little sister and me and my brother. And of course, me and my brother was over in the woods with my friend, Edward Stokes, Carnell Stokes, and Dickie Holt. Well, we had an axe that we had a handle in about 18 inches long. It was a double bit axe, and we kept it just razor sharp.
We were just boys playing in the woods. Now there was the feature attraction that day was a double bit axe that the handle had been broken out about 12 or 18 inches. It would make like a tomahawk. And as the day was going on, different people got to throw it against a tree, see if they could stick it up.
And there was this old stooping tree that bent over, come up and bent over and then went up like that, and we used that for our bathroom. Well, I decided I had to use a bathroom. And we'd been throwing that axe at trees all day and sticking up in trees to see if it would stick up in the tree the most. And I was over there using the bathroom, and Dickie says, "Watch me stick this axe up in the tree beside Jimmy." I said, "Man, don't you throw that thing." I said, "It might glance off hit me." He said, "No." He said, "I'm going to stick it up the tree." And he threw it, and it glanced off of me right between the eyes.
Before he threw it, when Jimmy sat down over there, that this ain't going to be good. And before it could get stopped, it had already happened. So it was one of those things. It's just a split second. And to my knowledge, we were excited, but we knew you had to get him some help. And I don't remember whether we wrapped his head up with something, but I know when he left, he had a towel or sheet or something around his head.
It was just one of those quick reactions that, oh my gosh, or probably, oh my God. And somebody said, we got to get him to the house. So just immediately we all grabbed him and took off to Jimmy's house.
The doctor's office was in behind Boswell's old drugstore. And the doctor's name was Dr. Morgan. And he got there, and he looked at me, and he started giving me shots in my head to deaden it and everything. And of course, that was one of the worst things it was. There was needles going in around my skull and all. And he said, "We got to get Jimmy to the hospital. He got to go into surgery immediately." So Daddy and Mr. Woodard took me to the hospital. And in the meantime, somebody got up with my mother, and she met us out there at the hospital, her and my sister, older sister. And went to surgery, and because of the trauma to my head, they wouldn't put me to sleep. They just drug me up real high. And to this day, I can remember them scraping on my skull, lifting it up, scraping on it. And I heard one of the nurses say, "Dr. Morgan, what's that?" He said, B-R-A-I-N-S. I said, "Brains, huh?" And what it was, the brains run out on the side of my forehead, and they wiped it off with a gauze or something. But when I got out of surgery, I went back to the room, whatever, and looked like the whole community was up there because everybody had heard about me getting hit with that axe.
I don't remember blood even running down his face. I just remember that red streak with the axe hit. I guess it was, but I don't remember that.
Dr. Azardigan had to go in there in 72, and he put a plastic plate in, just a little tiny plastic plate right in there. And then I started having real bad headaches, and that's when the tumors came back in 77. No, 74, 75. And that's when Dr. Glenn Warren down in Jackson operated on it, and he found the tumors, and he had to remove them. And he told my mother that he had to get so close to the back of my eyes, he thought I was going to be blind. And that's when he found out that this tumors was growing out of my sinus cavity, so he removed the sinus cavity above my eyes. He put a titanium mesh plate up there, and he said, Mr. Gregory, in 6 months to a year, I can go in there and fill it in. And you can't tell that scar's up there hard. I said, is it necessary, Dr. Esposito? He said, no. I said, sir, I've been cut on enough. I said, I'm just tired of it. I said, I know I'm ugly, and I don't care what anybody else thinks. I said, I'm just tired of being cut on. He said, I don't blame you a bit in the world.
Is. Probably if the same thing happened today, we'd wind up in juvenile court and all of that. But back then, I don't remember our parents, either one, getting really upset with us. It was a accident that happened, and really I consider Jimmy a walking miracle, because the doctor said if it'd been the thickness of a cigarette leaf deeper, he wouldn't have been here.